And thank you actually for everyone for joining my session today, and also for the organizing committee to this long session, right? Perhaps sure you guys have to do a lot of things. So thank you for that. Um, all right, let me get my teams to come up here. All right. So I am a little bit about me here. Recent MVP. You can follow me on Twitter. I try to get as much involved as possible in forums, answering questions. I haven't done that in a few weeks, a month maybe, but I plan to go back. And I'm very passionate about Power Platform for sure. Journey background is pro dev, SharePoint for many years, and then when Power Platform kind of came in, I just jumped in and love it. So I love my job. So I'm very glad to say that I can say that. All right. So, like I said, I lead the practice at Cyclotron, and we're a small company, but we're growing. So, absolutely looking forward to see. All right. At top, I mean, obviously, everyone here probably already know the Power Platform, right? So, just wanted to kind of regroup before we take a deep dive. Power BI is one of the pieces into Power Platform, Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agent. And the piece that I'm going to be talking about is in that Power Automate. And within that Power Automate, Power Automate Desktop, which is the RPA solution from Microsoft. And so that's the piece that I'll be focusing on today. I'm not sure what are the sessions where before me there was maybe a repeat. I apologize if it was a repeat, but towards the end, I'm happy to answer any questions you have. But I'll try to make it as informative as possible for everyone. Okay, so terminology was real quick. I will be using interchangeably Power Automate. I may use Flow, right? So it's important to know Microsoft constantly changes names. Just recently, these are the new names. The My Flows now we call Cloud Flows because basically any flows that you create in the cloud are called flows. UI flows, that was the RPA solution before they were called desktop. Now it's called desktop flows, which is basically any RPA related Power Automate desktop will be called desktop flows. You are creating either flow or cloud flow in Power Automate, right? So you're not creating Power Automate in Power Automate, you're creating flow in Power Automate. And then the ones that are created by you, not share anyone, will be in the cloud flows. So this is just a new updated about maybe last December, November. Some changes were announced and this is kind of moved around. Team flows, those are the ones that are shared with me. And then business process flows, it hasn't changed from what it was. It just changed the position. I think it used to be on the right last one in each year. So cloud flows, the cloud flow, right, that handled with the connector, API, everything. And then desktop flows is your RPA, and that's what we'll be focusing on today. All right. Um, why when would I go for an RPA solution? So the first thing you want to always ask, I work as a consultant, so I have to work with a lot of customers, mid, enterprise, small, right? And so the first question that I always ask is, where are we getting this data from, right? Where is the source? Just because they come to you and say, I need an RPA solution, doesn't mean you have to give that. You need to ask, justify it, because RPA is scalable, but it's not as scalable as it can be in this area. So you do have to ask that questions. Then only you go and say, all right, you know what? Yes, that's a valid point. It doesn't fit in this bucket. It doesn't fit in this bucket. So, all right, I'm going to go to RPA. So this bucket basically is the connectors that are available either third-party created connectors or Microsoft. Microsoft has created a whole bunch of connectors, and the number of connectors kind of goes up and up and up every month. Just last month, I think about 20 plus were added. I keep track of the count. I'm not keeping track of the count of the connectors anymore after it passes 300. So it's somewhere around 360, 370, I mean 450, 470, somewhere in there. It's pretty high. So then if the connector is not there, then ask them, hey, maybe you have an API. Do you have an API to connect custom connectors, right? So if it is, because those are scalable. When you talk about thousands and millions of records, that is scalable. When you come to this, there are multiple ways to make it scalable when you come to natively developed connectors, right? So instead of using this manual steps, if those are not there, and also in here, leverage API management, Azure API management as much as possible. That will lower your licensing costs. You don't have to go premium just like that. I mean, licensing is a different conversation. Just at a high level, just understand that if you use that, you can lower your uh, the licensing cost by just the Azure spend. And then finally comes RPA. RPA is obviously robotic processing automation. These are manual tasks. I am looking at a screen and I need to copy, and I'm doing that repeatedly throughout the day. We're trying to automate that process. So it could be mainframe, it could be legacy web app, it could be legacy Win30 API, and Win30 32 client heavy client app, right? You don't have a way to connect to their data source API. There's no connectors. Then only you go, because in order to make it scalable, it could be expensive, because you'd have to have multiple users running on multiple. I mean, actually, you can run in one VM, multiple users can run in parallel. Now that's supported, but scaling is going to be a problem, and it's problem meaning you have to add some resources to it, whereas in this case, scaling is easy to do. All right. Um, and just to time check, I do have until it is 45 minutes, an hour long. How long is the session?
It's 1 hour in total. Yeah.
Okay, so I do have another hour because I started early, right? So, but promise I'm not gonna take the entire hour. Hopefully, we can wrap it up sooner. But yeah, any questions? Just let me know on unmute, and you can ask that way. Otherwise, if it's in the chat, I'll get towards the end. Um, okay, I have mentioned, so before you start any RPA session, right? RPA project, or you need to create a new Power Automate desktop, you need to have, if you want to run in an unattended, and most likely if you're automating a process, you want to run on an unattended mode. Okay, what is attended and unattended? Obviously, again, I apologize if it's a repeat from before sessions that you have attended. I just don't know, so I'm going to assume that I need to level set here. That's why I'm going a little bit basic and then kind of build it up from there. So attended is, there are two types of RPA, Power Automate desktop pad, desktop flows that you can create. One is unattended. That means I am actually running and I'm triggering under the context of me, and I'm visually seeing everything that's happening. That's attended bot. Whereas unattended is some trigger, right? A record was created, an email was received, or some trigger is initiating that, and then, or you can also schedule that actually. All of those similar to cloud flows triggers, 5 triggers that can trigger those desktop flows. So that would be running in the background without your interaction, right? Without you being you seeing it, and that's the one is important, because if you're automating these manual tasks, you probably want to run in the background and not bother anyone, and that becomes where ROI. That's where your ROI is. So more the very more than likely you will need an unattended bot. So the requirement is, yeah, have a machine with that, remote and supported Chromium based browser for recording. Definitely it supports legacy browser, Internet Explorer, IE. You can go with Power Automate desktop. It is supported now, IE. Before, when it was just UI flow with before Win Automation acquisition, it didn't support that. I have tenant account ready, and then licensing, have environment ready, right? Environment, Power Platform environment with Microsoft Dataverse, because behind the scene, everything when you record all of those, they are stored in Dataverse. So you need an environment, Power Platform environment with database already enabled. Software installed. So we'll talk about the software in a little bit here. So Power Automate desktop app on-prem data gateway. On the data gateway will allow you to connect from cloud, initiate, and then go using data gateway will connect on-prem. Basically, think that as a adapter in the middle sits in there and does the handshaking. Says, hey, I'm going to take your request, throw it into the on-prem, and whatever data is pushed from on-prem, you push it out to the cloud. So that's think that as a more of a adapter. All right, and then browser extension is also needed when we're recording. So I'll show that here in a little bit in a demo. I talked about this just a little bit quickly, so I'm going to skip this. Let me know if I'm fast. I can slow down. I'm just trying to cover a lot of things here. Um, okay, so with that background, this session is more around Power Automate Desktop Pad. This is the new RPA solution that Microsoft released. I don't even know when it was. I have to say 4 or 5 months ago, but it went GA December. And before this, it was Win Automation. So this platform, this everything is built on top of Win Automation. So Win Automation was acquired back in last summer, and before that, after that, actually, I got more involved because I saw potential that Win Automation was giving you so many things, and this is basically giving the modern look, modern experience on Win Automation. Win Automation looked like a legacy Win32 application, and it was, and then basically this gives this Power Automate desktop gave more modern look, easy to use, and obviously a few other features have been added, good features. Okay, and this is drag and drop, right? Obviously this is triggered based for low code, no code. I'm not going to say no code anymore because there is some code involved, but it is basically for citizen developers with bit focus on business who can use, and we'll be working with IT to develop a robust solution. Okay, all right. So actions, and I don't know. I think it's 400 actions are available. I'm a little not sure about that, but a lot of actions are there. This is where you would do your development, input output variable. Okay, let me just go over quickly on this couple of these slides, and then support. Obviously, if you want have JavaScript or any of these PowerShell script, those are also supported. I have not done it. I know there's some article on Win Automation side of it that tells you how to do it. But yeah, this is supported there also. Any questions? All right, I am going to go real quickly. Details. Okay, let me see. I'm not sure if this is important here, but earlier, like I was saying, all of the recording and everything that you do is stored in the Dataverse. So it is important to have an environment with Dataverse enabled. Okay. All right. So attended is personal, more like I want to do proof of concept. I want to make sure it works, and then I can push it out to. And using attended, it also uses a gateway installed on your machine. You can also use actually on the server gateway, but more personal gateway is what I usually use. And then citizen developer developing, testing, making sure, and then once you finalize, when they say, okay, this works, this is what we need to do, you work with IT, or you can actually create an unattended bot to more kind of enterprise scalable area. Usually, if you want to create in production, you do want to create as an unattended bot. Attended bot license is available freely. You can get a trial license for attended bot, but unattended bot, you do have to. There's no trial license. You have to buy the license. All right. Okay, it talks about here a little bit about licensing, $40 per user for attended bot, and you can just sign up for trial while you are testing or where you're playing with it, and then later on you can go $500 per month per bot for unattended bot. Okay. Um, just quickly, so Process Advisor was released again. I think it was back in December. I want to say January or December. This kind of walks you through, it'll allow you to take steps, manual steps, and then it will recommend you where basically process diagram is created. You have to create a bunch of recordings, groupings, and then you analyze it, and then it will give you this process diagram to see where you can improve your manual steps. And this is a really good tool. Before you create your Power Automate, I highly recommend that you do this to understand where you could be saving some time, right? And so this is kind of take this as a recommendation, and then you go and create your Power Automate desktop. Um, okay, input, output. Obviously, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Output and geographically available. Where are these available right now? Here are all of the areas around the world, and some of them are coming soon. The green, the blue ones, I think for here they're trying to use a couple other data centers. And then what else? Okay, here are the sites that I use if I'm not working for a customer project and I want to try something. um, Invoicely.com, you can create your login there, and then it's free, right? Trial, and then you can do creating invoices. You can download to Excel, find your all of those. If I oftentimes when I'm doing this RPA labs, I am kind of like, okay, what do I use? I can use my existing, but if I don't have, then I can use other websites. So these are the websites that I use constantly. This actually came from a customer where I had to help on the RPA project for them. They were doing VIN number, vehicle information number. Based on that, they were in a warranty company. They wanted to what they wanted to do was the car is salvaged and people will um, damage, right? People will come and say, hey, can I get the amount or whatever for this one? And they wanted to verify that the car had not been salvaged before somewhere else, meaning hadn't been claimed somewhere else. So this is publicly facing a publicly open website. So I would put in VIN number, and in fact, actually, we'll do one demo here on this site, on the probably on this one or Invoicely, one of these. And RPAchallenge.com was I got that from Daniel. What's his last name? Forgot his last name, but I think Netherlands. That's where he is. He in one of his videos he did back in summer. He put it in and really good. It walks you through uh, every time you refresh the page, the control on uh, the page kind of moves around. So it's not only by position that you're grabbing, but it's by HTML element. So if that HTML element ID, right, it's the same, and wherever it moves, you can always target and you can get that data from there. That was a really good demo that he did back in summer, I would say. But yeah, if you this is definitely worth looking into. And then other one that you want to use if you want to automate against your legacy Win32 app, there is a I'll put here in the towards the end. There's download. You can download the content. It has a you might have seen it. Anyone does RPA demo, you will see this Contoso invoicing app. So you can download that app, and then you can kind of mimic the behavior that you wanted to do, and then record that. All right. Um, any questions so far? Let me check here. Okay. Um, all good. All right. So okay. So yeah, just kind of at a high level, showing you where to go to do things, and there are some of the content. I can put the URLs later on towards the end. But okay, not yet. Not thank you yet. So okay, let's do demo. And if there's an interest on the language, here are the languages that's supported. Obviously, a whole bunch of other content. But okay, let's do the demo. I am going to. So this is the app that a website that I was talking about, invoicely.com. Sign up for free, and then you can basically mirror some of the manual steps to record it to learn. Definitely a good website to go to. Create invoices, outstanding, download into files, all of those you can do. This is another one that I was talking to on the earlier, the VIN number, the vehicle, what do you call, confirmation, where someone claims, then you type in the VIN number, you'll search, and then you'll find uh, all of the images for that car, and then you can download. For them, it was you find it, you download it, and also we're trying to use AI to capture. Actually, AI Builder didn't work, so we had to do cognitive services OCR to extract the text from the images, and then find the mapping. I inputted that. This is what I got from the image. There's some areas where they will have like this, right? So this will be from the car. So you match and say, yep, this is done. We're done. And so that's the process. I'm not going to go the entirely thing. I'm just going to go up to where is downloads, and then AI. I have another session coming up next month. So I might go a little deep into that. Okay. Um, okay, I'm gonna pause here for a second. I know that was a lot of information. Any questions for anyone? Feel free to unmute before we kind of take a deep dive into Power Automate desktop. All right, I'll take that as no. So as I said earlier, cloud flows, desktop flows, business process flows, and shared with me. These are basically your Power Automate flows right in the cloud that done left and right all the time. The desktop flows are the Power Automate desktop now. That's what it's called. Naming convention always constantly changes. As you can see, there is some Win Automation. Win Automation was the software that Microsoft acquired to kind of up their game on RPA solution, and so that definitely had changed the game of where Microsoft stands now. And then your business process flows, which is more on the model-driven application, and then also on now supports on Canvas app actually, and this will be shared with me. All right, so I'm going to go here. I'll say I want to create a new Power Automate desktop, and then before you do that, I would say uh, I would before you do that, right? So the prerequisites install. It's made it easier now. It wasn't there overhead. You have to go through article find. So I'm glad Microsoft added in here. So just download the Power Automate desktop. If you don't have on-prem data gateway, download data gateway. It is important to uh, note that the data gateway and the demo environment, they should be on the same reason when they was created. When you created this environment, it would prompt you 8 or 9 reasons there. So you have to pick US West or Asia or Europe, right? One of those 8 or 9. I forget the names, but I usually use US West or US East. So that's what I know. But other area, wherever you are, wherever your users are, that's where you will pick your area so that your users are close to the data, right? And so when you're creating this data gateway, it has to be on the same reason where this environment was created. It's more around the data sovereignty, so there's some compliance, all of those for your data security also. Okay, so with that, like those are the two things, and then also whatever you logged in with your account, you need to log in with the same account on this on-prem data gateway in order for it to work. So once you install these two, you're good to go. You will see, well, almost. If you do not see this extension, browser extension, there is a way to run. So here I'm going to say automation boot camp. Let me just say global automation boot camp. Oops, if I can spell it properly. I still can't. GLO, global automation boot camp. And then I'll say launch. And since I already have it launched here, it's gonna give me another session. Okay, it popped up here. So I am the other rule of thumb is when you're doing so. Since I'm presenting now, I have two windows, but as soon as I start recording, I'm going to switch over to one because when it runs, I want to mirror the same environment that it is going to run. And more than likely, these are especially unattended bot, they are going to run in one window, not multiple windows. So just whatever your final, wherever you're going to run the final environment, that's what you need to record. That's how you have to record. So just remember that as you are doing it. So here, now this is your Power Automate desktop editor, right? This is where you create your Power Automate or any RPA solutions. First thing I would do is if you're starting fresh, then I would do tools. And again, this is another thing that Microsoft did is very, very useful. And these are the things that that's kind of makes your life easy, right? And so here you can say, I want a plugin for Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, or Firefox. And so if I say, let's say Microsoft Edge, it will tell me, hey, you already have it, remove. No, I don't want to remove. And that basically is saying that I have that Power Automate Power Automate plugins. Okay, and this is Selenium. I'm not using Selenium. I saw there was a couple of sessions before mine, so hopefully you guys are familiar with that. Uh, all right, so here this is your toolbar up here. This is the action. I want to say I don't know 400 or 100. I got confused. I haven't updated. I believe it's 400. There are that many actions that are available in here. All of those are grouped by functionality. If it's in a web automation, it's there. UI automation, which is more of a desktop automation. OCR is also there, PDF. Bunch of these are, and Excel has actually pretty good somewhere in here. Where is the Excel one? Excel has a lot of those add, remove, uh, all of those download, all of those are there. So, okay. Uh, all right. So first thing, and then this is your composer. Like similar to programming languages, you have main is your where you executes everything. And let's say you're repeating a set of actions. Uh, Multiple places within the main area like it could be download a file, and then you do something and say download a file. If it's you're repeating those same, then you do want to extract it out and create as a sub flows. The name could be kind of confusing because in Power Automate, when you're creating flows and child flows. So, but here it's called soft flows. So child flows are basically main flow creating a child, another flow, child flow. But here in this case, it's called soft flow. So similar name, uh, but the gist of is the same, right? So you're creating, extracting this common element, putting it somewhere else, and then you're calling it here from main multiple times. Your input output variable you create here, and then anytime you create a session, those sessions variable gets created in here. They're called flow variable. Those are more of a session variable that you're adding it in here. So with that, I can just say launch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch a website, and then I'm going to also pass um, obviously when I launch the website, it's going to ask me whether I want to launch a brand new session, existing session, new tabs. I'm just going to say brand new, and I'm going to put in a URL, and it opens up that site. And then once it opens up the site, I'll have a variable, right? That variable will have a VIN number. I'm going to put it on the website, and it will search and find. Since I have just before this session I was trying, so what it's doing is it didn't used to do that before, but now if I were to go here and run through Power Automate, the captcha comes in. So there's no solution for in an RPA world. If a website has a captcha, there is not a way to resolve that. Basically, there's no way to overcome that. So if your site has a captcha, then RPA is not your solution, unfortunately. And I did ask Microsoft about it because as I was working on this last year, it came up, and it uh, basically from product group they were like, nope. If a site has captcha, that means it's a modern site. It's not a legacy site. So there should be another way to automate. It could be from API, right? So just know that. So all right, let me go back here. I'm gonna say launch Internet Explorer new is, and I'm just gonna drag and drop. And then I will need to put in a URL. So URL will be in fact, actually, I don't have to do this, right? So, but let me https boctra.com. And I would say maximize it so that the window size to maximize so I can see the entire when I'm automating it. So I'll say maximize. I'm going to say okay. And as I said, like that session of uh, web session is saved in browser instance variable, and that's what got added in here. This is saying that all of those that are being added, right? If you double click on it, you will see that the variable produced was this, and you can rename if you need to, and that gets added in here. That's not the input output variable that we are adding. This is more automatically any sessions you initiate in here, they will have a variable so that you can refer to it later on. Say, I want to do something in this browser session, right? That's the gist of it. Or if I say, do you know what? I don't want to do manually all of those. I want to just go ahead and record it because that's how I want to mirror. I want to record what I do. So start recording. I will do something and then save it. So that's you would do by this globe icon, web recorder. You click on web recorder, and it's asking you what are you trying to do. I say I'm going to try this with 2 monitors. Let's see if this works. If not, I'll go down to I have 2 monitors right now. I'll switch over to one monitor. So okay, it's actually launching the site. So if I go over to where is my, hold on, give me just a second. My Power Automate desktop crashed for a second. Okay, it came up. Okay, let me close this again. Let me gonna go back here. I'm going to do one more time and see what it does. Okay, I want to do Chrome. I want to let me do open a create new instance for recording. And then I can say, or I can, let me just do just a browser instance. So let's do this. Okay, it's doing it, and then I should have my Power Automate desktop pop up here. There you go. What's happening? Okay, I'm gonna go one monitor. This is not doing. Okay, let me do one more time, and let me see. Okay, there you go. Finally, it came, but it came on the other side. There you go. All right. So now what I can do is start recording. Okay, hold on. I have to do one more time. Sorry, I closed this. Something is not right. It's just going on and off for me. Okay. Or we can always do manually, but yeah, this is just to get you started faster. Okay. All right. Okay. Launched it. Wait for a second. I'm still waiting for Power Automate Desktop to relaunch. There you go. And where is my? All right, it worked once, and then now it didn't work. So let me do one more time. I'm actually going to work on one window. and see if I can get that going. This is always the case with Power Automate Desktop. Let me actually make this a little bit brighter. All right, so Power Automate Desktop. I'm going to do not that one. Actually, let me just have one session. Save. Yes. And then I'm going to go back here. And let's say I want to record. Okay. Waiting for Power Automate Desktop to come up. Come on. Why is it not going to? Yeah, it should pop up a recorder window where I can say start recording, and then I can kind of basically point what I need to do. But somehow that's not coming. So I'm going to try. Sorry about that. I'm going to try one more time because that basically makes it easier for you to record, or you can otherwise you would have to do manually how you would launch it. Come on. All right, that's okay. I have another way. Um, one more thing that I wanted to show was alert, right? So uh, oh yeah, I'm not sorry about that. And when I unhooked, came over to one. Thank you for bringing that up. I am not. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Yeah, when I switched from two monitors to one monitor, I guess my screen share got lost. I came back to this primary. Okay, all right. What I was doing was I was trying to record web, and it is not. Okay, let me see what's going on. Let me just make sure that okay, now, thank you. Okay, all right, cool. Let me lower this. So this is what I was doing. I was web recorder, and then I'm waiting for Power Automate. Not this one. So here I can select Microsoft Edge, the browser, right? So then I can next. Let me actually try open a create new browser. Okay, pick a new. Okay, new tab. Let me see if this helps. Okay, for some reason that helped, and now it came. This is what I should have gotten. And now I can say I can delete this, right? Because I don't want this. I have my own website that I need. So this is the website that I need to automate. This is the session that I have. And then let me see, start recording. I can go over here. I will type in brockdown.com. And rule of thumb, anytime, and I didn't do that here now, but when you are using your window, obviously I'm taking some time here, so that's the time that's going to take. When you are, what was I going to say? On a control, when you are putting your cursor, you want to do Alt A, complete all, and override on top of it. Don't use your mouse as meaning don't use your mouse to kind of highlight and right click and left click and delete and copy. Use the keyboard to do all of your operations. That's more dependable than using mouse. Okay, so let me just click on one of these. It will go there. Obviously, like I said, CAPTCHA, it just started having this CAPTCHA, and then I'm going to click on that. And automated request protection, we're currently It found that definitely I'm using. It saw that I'm using bot because I'm constantly hitting the website, so they it captured. All right, so I did that one, and then I'm going to also download, meaning print. So I go and click on that one, and I would say cars download. All right, let me see what got captured. So I say finish now, right? I did few things like captured. Oftentimes, you may not have everything that you need, and you can go back and edit. So in this case, you can see that it says web browser instance variable browser2 doesn't exist. That's fine. We are not seeing that browser instance there because I might have deleted the website. Yes, I did. When I recorded, there was one task up top which I deleted. I need to go back and add. I can just use this one and say, yeah, so how does it work with authentication process? You can pass user ID, password, and they can be passed now as a sensitive information. Before you didn't have, it was a plain text, but now you can pass in as, let's say, user ID and password. You have to authenticate it to a website like invoicely.com has that. I would pass that as a user ID. User ID has a plain text, and then maybe password. Obviously, password as a sensitive text, and then that will log in your yeah. Every time you do a power automate, this is always the case. Thank you for the support. Okay, so now what I do is I can just change this variable, like this session, to it by going in and saying I can rename that to, come on, I want to rename to, because it's saying browse to is not available, right? So all we have to do is just add this here. This is the same website. I mean, I could also do it by double clicking. So I'm just intentionally, I kind of delete it so that I can show you the kind of like a troubleshooting way, right? So you go here and then you can, yeah. Other thing is that this is the percentage in cap the surrounded by percentage sign is again inherited from Win Automation. That's how Win Automated did, and this UI is basically sitting on top of. I guess I call Power Automate Desktop as a wrapper for Win Automation to give better UI and cloud presence, right? Better integration. You are starting from cloud, whereas Win Automation you had to start from on-prem as an app. So definitely a lot better than doing that. So I'm going to rename that variable to browser2 and see if some of this error handling. And then this error handling is definitely better on Power Automate desktop. So you can see that it found that session and said, oh, no, all of these were referencing this session variable, right? And so as soon as I rename that, it all of those went away. So if I play this, actually, I wanted to show you one more thing here before I show that. Uh, Display messages. I want to put it up top here, and I want to say, why not? Hello world. Sure. If I can type today, my keyboard is skipping. Hello world. Um, Hello everyone. Uh, Thanks for joining the boot camp today. All right, and I'll say okay. I'm going to put that in, and if I were to run this, um, and then let me see, and also I can put a debugger, right? I can say I want to see what it's doing, so I can put a breakpoint, meaning when I run, it's going to stop there for my interaction. So one more thing I wanted to show you was that when I run this, it says hello world, joining all of those. So I'm gonna save, stop this, save it, and okay. So do that. Sorry, I am kind of briefly reading that. Okay, so here I wanted to show you was this awesome tool, right? Called Monitor. So I'm going to go here and desktop monitor. This is all of the, this is a really good tool that you need to. So let's say you have hundreds of bots that are coming in, unattended bots coming in. Yeah, don't ignore all these failures because I was just, and this is my demo environment. I come in and go. And so trust me, I have others environments that are kind of constantly uh, some few passes and few failures, I guess. So here you can come and see how they're coming in, what priority they came in. You may have some processes you want to give them higher priority so that when it goes to the queue, it runs faster, right? All of those. You can also move this over up and down by clicking on it. Well, this is okay. This is already done. That's why you can do that. If it was queued, let me solve cloud review activity. Not here. Oh, this is desktop, and then here, this is the queue. This is what I clicked on wrong one. So this is, um, you can see that I can gateway. If I click on it, what gateways they are running under. So definitely a lot of things been added. Power Automate Desktop is the place to go now for, and then I'm definitely enjoying a lot lately with everything, all the features that have been added, and then the innovation that's coming down the road. COE, this thing will be added into Center of Excellence where you can monitor who are creating all of those. The governance piece of it will be added into COE pretty soon here. I think John did a video recently, a couple of days or earlier this week. This should be coming out soon on the next release of Center of Excellence. So you may ask like, oh, what kind of governance? So this is one visibility you have, and the other one is Center of Excellence will have all of these monitoring so you can govern it properly. It's definitely a mature product. So I thought I ran. Did I not run? Let me go ahead and run it. Okay, I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna not do anything. Like this is I'm not gonna take any action. And let me go back here and see if I can get the queue here. Um, Refresh maybe. Why am I not seeing my? Oh, what did I? What was the name? Um Global Automation Bootcamp. Desktop flows. Maybe. Okay, not sure why. Oh, so no, I'm doing it testing here. This is while when you're developing, you're developing here, but then you do have to call from Power Automate, and that's when it gets logged, I believe. But maybe that's why I'm not seeing it there. It's also saying how long. The ones that are getting queued in here, that will stay until 30 minutes, and after that, if it doesn't get triggered, it's gonna drop. But then this is this is where it comes your scalability, right? You can come here and say how many failures you have. You may have to up your number of RPA accounts to run more on more data gateway. Create more clusters of data gateway, more priority, or maybe even the one that are failing, give them more priority. I'll show you that in a second here, but let me go ahead and do that. If I play this without doing that, and then I'll just watch, stop that run, and I'm going to say run. Let me see what things got captured. Oh, man, I didn't want that to be on this one, but it's okay. Apologies, I do have to, human interaction is needed on this demo, but let me see what got captured here. So, okay, it stopped here. Let me do one more thing, and then I will know what's happening. So here I'm going to close this browser session, right? That way I don't have this many browser sessions opening up. So close web browser, drag and drop. Yeah, I can add here. I can add them outside, doesn't matter. So I'm going to close that browser too. Remember, we renamed that browser to earlier, and then this will get another name here. So let's see. Okay, the close doesn't get actually. So let me run this, and then I like, you know what? This is my during my deployment. I mean testing. I don't need that anymore. Instead of, if you feel like me, I don't want to delete it. Oftentimes I want to mark it as inactive or flag it as, hey, we'll use it later. So I'm going to just say disable, and this will not run. Now I can do run. When I do run, uh, it'll launch the browser. It'll do whatever it needs to do. I'm pretty sure it's going to tell me again the CAPTCHA thing. Um, oh my God. Now, seriously? Oh man. Okay. All right. Motorcycles. One, two. I think that's it. Shoot. This is even harder. Okay. All right. I don't know. Oh, right here. How did I not see that? As you can see, if you do more and more, it's going to give you kind of pop up other things for you to. Sorry to interrupt. Okay. What's up now? Uh, it's trying to load. Okay. Okay. This may not. I'm going to skip this from my next demo. This used to be. It was just every once in a while, not this consistent. Now I'm seeing every time. So I'll have to take this website out. Probably go back to Invoicely. I start with a login and then do it from there. It should have gone and closed, but not working. Okay, I am going to stop that. So let me see, what can I show you guys? Um, and then when you, okay, any questions before I jump into creating flows? Okay, thank you for the support. From the testing. Okay, so let me, I'm going to extend my window back to 2 so that it's easier to read these messages. I don't want you to go through all of the things that I get. Okay. Yeah, do you know what? One of the point that you have made, Michael, there is uh, if, so I'll give you an example, a couple of examples. The 2 projects that I'm working right now are they get thousands of documents, and they have at least 2 people sorting out this paper and extracting information and tagging it. Uh, the cost that the RPA or AI builder or cognitive services is going to cost in the long run, there's a cost saving because you could probably do about 30 out of 30-40% of that, having 2% to do the manual work, right? They could be doing other productive areas, so they are happy, and you have a better system. This is definitely for a smaller task. Yes, I do agree. That's why you gotta go first the connector route, the API route. Use Azure API management, right? To lower your per user and per app licensing model. Because it's Azure consumption, and Azure consumption is always going to be cheaper in pennies compared to what you would pay in licenses per user. So that's the architecture that you should go. And if it's really legacy, that means you have an opportunity to, there's a better opportunity for ROI to save, to process. Like, people are not happy doing manual things again and again, so you're encouraging their morale also, right? Giving them uh, another career path, I would say. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. But just for testing, I'm not sure. It has value if you're trying to automate a lot of your testing. But obviously, I'm not focusing on that. I'm just more focusing on automating manual tasks, and there is a lot of value. Another one is there's a warranty company again. Uh, they get thousands of cars and appliances, and they're a big warranty company. What they do is they sell warranty for anything, you name it. I mean, home, auto, insurance. appliances, refrigerator, I mean, microwave, more like cars, and they have thousands of those cancellations coming in. Right now, they are doing manually paper. Like dealers are filling it out, sending it, and then they have a team of I think like 10 or 11 people, and that's high. And we can definitely automate this by in Power Platform. You can expose a form outside with Power Apps portal, get the data, and then whatever you need to kind of to solution. You don't have to go RPA every time. Just because they're doing paper processing doesn't mean you have to have paper, scan it, and then do. Um, uh, uh, there might be an RPA process in there, so you don't have to do. You just have to think outside the box and say, hey, what are the other opportunities how we can automate for testing? Yeah, I'm not the right guy to answer that. Okay. All right. So what else was I gonna do? Okay. So I'm gonna create a flow. Maybe that's what is happening. That uh, so I'm gonna create a flow. I will say. Oh, I'll just say it real quickly. Uh, yeah, absolutely. um, instant flow, and I want to say manually for now because I don't want to get trigger. I don't have another complexity to add trigger here. Desktop flow is what you would do to add your Power Automate desktop in your flow there so that it will run. And I want to say run a flow built with Power Automate desktop. That's what we're focusing on. Selenium is something, yes, you can do. I think it's more used for testing than automating. You can definitely use that too. Before Power Automate desktop, that's what it was for web automation. And for Windows automation, it was UI flows. So it still exists, but you know what? If I were to do any web or desktop, right, application automation, I mean, just use this. This is where all the innovation is also happening. So I would focus on that. Okay, and here I already had my gateway set up in this environment. I had already installed earlier gateway with the same user ID that I was logged in with, and so that's why it didn't prompt me for the gateway information. It already knew, and so it didn't prompt me. It took me directly here. For you, it would prompt you. It will prompt you with the name that you want to have, and then the recovery key that if you have to recover the gateway, that information, and then the user ID and the password. The user ID and password will be what you are logged in. I'm logged into my company tenant, and that's where you will see um, the information about that. Okay, so with that, now I can select a couple of flows that I've created. Global Automation Bootcamp was one, and then run mode will be attended because I do want to run it in attended mode. And other thing that they added is the priority. Let's say this is your high priority request, right? And then though you can select high priority. So when it goes on the queue, it with the high priority it gets precedence. So if you have multiple high priorities coming in, the last one that gets in wins. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why, but should be the first one that should win, but the last one that has the priority wins. Uh, and you can see like what process is using what gateway, how the gateways are being throttled. It's very scalable. So very you can do everything in here, and also with the COE it gives you more visibility of who are creating. So from a governance point of point of view, also it's there. So hi, I'm gonna save it. I'll run this and I'll save for. I know we have 6 minutes. I'm just looking at the time, and I'll save some time for Q&A. Let me go ahead and test it manually. I'm gonna say continue, and I'm just gonna have my hands up and see what it does. Oh, run flow. Hold on, not yet. Now and then when you're testing, obviously you don't want to touch your mouse, you don't want to touch your keyboard. Let's see if it launches the site. Uh, oh, you know what? I switched to two window. Now I have two windows. Let's see what it does. Uh, oh, oh my God. I thought I had already taken that out. Okay, and then that's how it ran, and it's searching, obviously. So apologies for this captcha, but at a high level, oh my God, seriously. I guess that's it. Was there anywhere else? Maybe that one. Uh, okay, so sorry about the. I'm gonna drop this. I'm not gonna do this going forward. This is definitely not fun. But you saw how I had not clicked in. It basically launched the browser session for me, and it went through. Uh, and even though I had this disabled, I must not have saved it. Could be. That's why it gave me that message. I had disabled this, and then if you go back here. Uh, Done. Promise, give me one more minute, and it fails. Sure, fine. And then debugging, you will say execute, click. We knew that was going to happen. I probably didn't find one of the links in there. The captcha kind of threw off everything. But if you go back to run flows, it failed. This is the one, global automation bootcamp. And had we looked at it in between while it was doing, we would have seen that the been queued in here. We would have seen when you clicked on it, we would have seen the that process being queued up in here. And then you can do we can move, if we had like 10, we could move up and down. Okay, all right. I'm gonna wait now. Pause for question and answer, Q&A, question and answer, Q&A. Basically, that's what it is. Okay, so let me see any questions there. Thank you, thank you. That's $500, I believe, or 400. Let me see what that is. The licensing. Mm, 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 mm. That's $500 per user per month. Right. That's a sticker price. Obviously, Microsoft at times you can sort of negotiate. I didn't say it loud. Cool. Any other questions for me? Like I said, it was more of a high level just to get you started on Power Automate Desktop, but wanted to give you kind of background of why you want to go there and why you should not go there unless you really, really have to. But if you go there, it is mature and it's available for you to. And there are reasons, right? Some things that happen manually, you want to automate, you do have to go there. And so when you go there, the tool is ready. It tells you where there can be an improvement. It tells you troubleshooting is there, and it's a brilliant tool for sure. And thank you everyone for joining. I know we're right top of the hour. Um, oh yeah, yes, the link. I will put some of this link for you guys. Um, okay, so the link that is, it's a content you can download is ms dot RP. Okay, I'm going on top of my head. RPA in a day package. So that's the link. You can download the content. It has pretty detailed out lab for a day long. Let me confirm the link. RPA in a day package. Yes, it is downloading right there. So yes, that's the package I was talking about. And it has all the details about when you create from email, AI builder is there, and it's a 8 or 9 labs total. Definitely worth, you were trying to learn, definitely worth going downloading that content. Oh, you mean hand holding? Yes, those in a day sessions are um, I can put here, I don't know on top of my head right now, but uh, X in a day, I think. maybe. Yeah, if you just search for RPA in a day, you would see uh, people from very different type of world. Like Australia, there's Lisa Crosby. She's constantly offering those. So yeah, absolutely, there are opportunities. Yeah, Pragmatic Works also does RPA in a day. Yep, absolutely. Yep, Brian does that. He was to help to test certain things.
Thank you once again, Uday.
No, absolutely.
For
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you for the
for rounding
opportunity.
off the event and our focus on RPA. So once again, thanks for that. Do you have any final messages for the community on how to contact you?
Yeah, I am on. You can follow me on Twitter. Here's my handle. Uh, and yeah, if you have any questions, anything, tag me, tag community members. This community is awesome. Constantly, they're trying to help, right, all the time. So yeah, go to forums for anything you have questions. There, all those forums, Power Platform, Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agent. They all are awesome. So if you go there, you'll get an answer sometimes within like half an hour, or tweet with hashtags RPA Power Automate Desktop. You'll find people answering questions, and they do attend. These are all like I know COVID has uh, put us aside on the for a long time, but it gives us an opportunity to attend a lot of these sessions. That's how I got this opportunity to present. Otherwise, traveling up there, right, wouldn't have been possible for a lot of us. But yeah, just go out to the community and learn more and share.
That's great today. And so, just to remind the community, we're only halfway through this boot camp, right? So, next week we continue with PowerShell and Azure automations as well. So, and there's lots of other community events happening. So, just a reminder to all the community that we're still not finished yet. We've still got lots more content to cover. And yes, there's lots of other things happening with RPA in a days. So lots of great stuff to do and keep you occupied during COVID, as Uday mentioned. So yes, so again, it's been a great pleasure to host you, Uday. I think you brought the USA flavor with the American style. It was very refreshing. It's very cold here in the UK right now, so it looks as though you've got your sun kissed. You're getting some nice sunshine there in the USA right now.
No, we
No?
are getting hammered, and I'm in Austin,
Oh dear.
Texas. Usually we get warm, but last few days it's been awful temperature here. So not yet. Maybe another week.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, anyway, guys. So a great way to round off a long day. So without further ado, I'll let you all relax and enjoy the rest of your weekend, and see you all next week, next Saturday. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look at that snow! Beast from the east. Yeah, that's the storm. Yeah. So please all, put your feet up, relax, take it easy, and then see you all next week. And again, great pleasure to meet you virtually today, and
Absolutely.
thank all the speakers and everyone involved today. Thank you for
Absolutely.
attending, guys.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for having me. Bye.